Welcome to Horror Midnight Thrills. Thank you for stopping by to watch our spine-chilling, heart-pounding, scary videos. Your support means the world to us. If you love thrilling tales and terrifying mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. In the quaint little town of Maplewood, where the streets were lined with charming cottages and ancient oaks, lived a young girl named Seraphina Collins. She was a curious and adventurous 15-year-old with a vivid imagination that often led her into the world of make-believe. However, Seraphina had always felt a sense of loneliness, her only solace being a peculiar antique doll named Abigail. Abigail wasn't just any doll. She was an intricately designed Victorian-era toy, passed down through generations of the Collins family. Her porcelain face was adorned with lifelike features, and her glassy blue eyes seemed to hold secrets of the past. Abigail's most distinguishing feature was her delicate, hand-stitched red dress, which gave her an air of elegance and mystery. One crisp autumn afternoon, while rummaging through the attic for hidden treasures, Seraphina stumbled upon an old, dusty chest. Inside, she found a collection of letters that belonged to her great-grandmother, Margaret Collins. The letters were filled with cryptic entries, recounting tales of strange occurrences and eerie encounters centered around Abigail. As Seraphina delved deeper into the letters, she discovered a chilling entry dated October 31, 1923, which read, "Abigail is not what she seems. She watches silently, her gaze never wavering. I fear she holds a dark presence within. Tonight, I must do what must be done to keep us safe." The words sent a shiver down Seraphina's spine, but her curiosity was insatiable. That night, as the wind howled outside and the moon cast an eerie glow through her bedroom window, Seraphina decided to confront Abigail. She placed the doll on her bed and stared into her glassy eyes, searching for any sign of the malevolent presence her great-grandmother had warned about. For a moment, everything seemed ordinary and Seraphina let out a relieved sigh. But then the atmosphere in the room shifted. The temperature dropped and a sense of dread filled the air. Abigail's eyes, once still and lifeless, seemed to flicker with an unnatural light. Seraphina's heart raced as she tried to look away, but she found herself unable to break the doll's hypnotic gaze. As the clock struck midnight, Seraphina heard a faint whisper, so soft and eerie that it sent chills down her spine. "Seraphina?" the voice murmured, "I've been waiting for you." The room plunged into darkness, and Seraphina's world was engulfed in an unrelenting terror. She realized too late that Abigail was more than just a toy. She was a vessel for something far more sinister. Seraphina's breaths became shallow and rapid as the darkness around her seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. She could feel Abigail's gaze piercing through her soul, and the sinister whisper echoed in her mind, "I've been waiting for you." Desperate to escape the suffocating presence, Seraphina scrambled off her bed and reached for the light switch. Her fingers fumbled in the darkness, but just as she was about to flip the switch, an icy hand grasped her wrist. Seraphina gasped in terror and spun around, but there was no one there. The grip vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving a lingering chill on her skin. Trembling, Seraphina managed to turn on the light, flooding the room with a reassuring glow. She glanced at Abigail, who now sat motionless on the bed, her expression as innocent as ever. Seraphina's heart pounded in her chest, and she knew she had to find answers. Determined to uncover the truth, Seraphina returned to the attic the next day. She sifted through the remaining letters and found a particularly worn and tattered one. The letter detailed a long-forgotten family secret, a pact made with a dark entity to save a loved one. The price for this pact was the soul of an innocent, and Abigail had become the vessel to collect that debt. As Seraphina read the final lines of the letter, a sense of dread washed over her. The entity had been dormant for decades, but now it had awakened, seeking to claim what was owed. Seraphina realized that she had to break the curse before it was too late. Armed with the knowledge from the letters, Seraphina began to research ancient rituals and protective spells. She sought the help of an eccentric local historian named Mr. Thompson, who had a reputation for knowing about the town's darkest secrets. Together, they pieced together a plan to confront the entity and banish it once and for all. The night of the ritual arrived, and Seraphina felt a mixture of fear and determination. She carefully arranged the candles and symbols as Mr. Thompson had instructed, creating a protective circle around Abigail. The doll's eyes seemed to follow her every move, and the air grew thick with an oppressive presence. As Seraphina began to chant the incantation, the temperature in the room plummeted. The shadows deepened and a low, guttural growl emanated from Abigail. The ground beneath her feet trembled, and the walls seemed to close in. With each word, Seraphina's voice grew stronger, fueled by the hope of breaking the curse and freeing her family from the entity's grasp. The growling intensified, and a swirling vortex of darkness emerged from Abigail, filling the room with a cacophony of whispers and wails. Suddenly, a blinding light erupted from the protective circle, engulfing Abigail and the dark entity. The room shook violently and Seraphina was thrown to the ground. When she looked up, the vortex had vanished and Abigail lay in pieces, her glassy eyes shattered and lifeless.